So here we are again, continuing the same videos, talking Pokemon, and today is another one of those starter ratings, which I'm going to be doing every generation going down. So this is Generation 2. Let's talk about the next generation of Pokemon, the Gold and Silver games. Okay, so right off the bat, you already understand how this works. This doesn't necessarily mean that I hate these Pokemon. That can be a legitimately completely different video if that's something that people want. If they want me to talk about Pokemon that I absolutely refuse to use, that I don't like, maybe like top 10 favorite designs in Pokemon, things like that, that's no problem. I'll get into things like that. But for right now, what I'm doing, what these currently are, just like the last one, these are the ones I'm most likely to pick, down to the one I'm most likely not to pick. Now, we're talking Gold and Silver, that's Generation 2, that's only 3 guys, that was 3 starters, so let's go ahead and get into it. We are talking Totodile, Chikorita, and Cyndaquil. So, let's do that. At number 3, the guy I'm most likely to pick every time I go through these games, Cyndaquil. And I don't know why. There's something about him that is uniquely cool. When I seen the 3, he stood out as compared to the others, and I can't explain it. There was something very cute, yet something very threatening about that creature in particular. The way the flames fly off his back, and especially if you were playing the Crystal version, and I know this is funny to even bring up nowadays, but back then in the Crystal version, when he would come out, he would move and the fire would spark off his back, and that was like such a big deal because Pokemon was just cardboard cutouts. And then funny enough, after Crystal, we'll go right back to cardboard cutouts that don't move again. But regardless, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here, that was something that intrigued me, and for some reason, from the first moment I saw this guy, I knew he was going to turn into something that was cool. I could see the cuteness, but I could see there was like a danger. This was like something that was somehow, I knew this was something that had teeth. Like, sure, it's cute, it's nice, but it has teeth. Watch out what you're doing because it'll bite you. That was the feeling I got off of this guy. And it's funny because I say something like that, and then you look at Totodile and his teeth are literally exposed, but like there was something about Cyndaquil that I could not get away from. I looked at all 3 and I couldn't walk away from it. I was like, that's him. And quite frankly, in terms of every time I have played the Gold and Silver games, Cyndaquil has probably been picked so much more over the others that the other 2 literally had no contest whatsoever here. Cyndaquil wins my picked most 100% of the time. He is probably, without a doubt, my favorite Pokemon in all of Gold and Silver that was introduced. So he gets this spot. Let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about the second spot on the lists. Number 2, this is going to Totodile. Totodile is... he's neat. I can't say that I'm a huge fan of everything he turns into. I'm not a huge fan of the second evolution. I'm not even a huge fan of his final evolution. It's just... They're fine. They're fine to me. Where, like I said, with Cyndaquil, something about his transformations, even the first stage, the second, the third, I love all of them. Totodile, I actually like the most when he's little Totodile. And that's fine, but he didn't catch my attention the way that, say, Squirtle did. When I saw Squirtle, I was instantly intrigued. When I saw Totodile, he was standing in the shadow of Cyndaquil. It's just, when I clicked on those 3 Pokeballs and saw Cyndaquil, it hurt everybody coming after it. Everybody. And now, while Totodile intrigued me, it intrigued me enough that on my, this is ridiculous, on my 4th playthrough of the game, I finally picked him. So that's what I'm talking about, is about how severe Cyndaquil grabbed me. He's easily in my top 10 favorite designs that have ever seen Pokemon ever, because I saw Cyndaquil, and literally for my first 3 playthroughs that I ever turned that game on and went through the story, I picked Cyndaquil all 3 times. I don't know why. But Totodile, on my 4th, I picked him. And I legitimately enjoyed him. He is cool. And my wife, that's her favorite Pokemon. That was her first Pokemon that really got her intrigued in the entire Pokemon mythos, that got her running. In fact, I think it was her first Pokemon, period. We have a Totodile that actually sits in the bedroom, because that's her Pokemon. I don't think I have a Cyndaquil, which is crazy when I stop to think about it, and I have all this other stuff, and I don't have something that represents easily one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. But this Totodile gets my 2nd spot. He's solid. I like his design, not so much his evolutions, and that hurts him in terms of his placements. Let's talk about the last one. Okay. Chikorita. What is this thing? Like, it's like a puffball with a flubber head and a leaf that comes off the head, and it's like its legs are stubby, and it's got these big old giant anime eyes, and like, it just, something about Chikorita bothers me. It is the antithesis of super cute, and for some people, this is exactly why they pick it. I'm sure of it, because I've even heard time and time again that Chikorita's depiction in the anime is one of the things that got people interested in Chikorita, where I actually, for some reason, enjoyed watching... For some reason, it was more interesting to me to see Totodile bite people's head. I don't know why. Maybe something's wrong with me, but I got such a kick out of that, more than I got Chikorita being cute. Chikorita, man, it does not appeal to me literally at all. Literally in the least, it does not appeal to me at all. It's no love. I wish I could do better. I wish I could say that it at least makes a list, or that I appreciate it somehow. I've used it 1 time ever in my entire life, and that's it. And here's the kicker. When I did use it, maybe I'm not being fair, but when I did use it, I accidentally pushed. I picked it accidentally. I was on an emulator, and I walked up, and I clicked the button, and it said, "Do you want this? Yes or no?" And I was just trying to hit the back button, which would automatically select no, and I didn't do it right, and I ended up selecting Chikorita, and then I was like, well, I mean, I've never used it. Sure. So I ran through the game with it, and it was fine. And in Pokemon Coliseum, I've used its final evolution, which I also don't like. Weird Brachiosaurus tree neck. Whatever. This is a Pokemon that does not appeal to me in the least. I'm sorry if I just crapped all over one of your favorite Pokemon, because I know, look, some people pick Pokemon because they're cute. And that's fine. And that's what I love about Pokemon, is how versatile it is, because even though this character has nothing for me, it could be super cute, and it is an antithesis of cuteness. I see it. And maybe that's something that intrigues you, and you pick it. And then at the same time, there's other people that just kind of pick a type. They have a type. They love grass type, bug type, fire type, whatever. And that's the way they pick. And then other people pick aesthetically as to what looks tough, what looks cool. And then other people pick on nothing more than stats. There are those guys that just go through and look at all the stat points and write them down and figure out the exact thing they need and the nature they want and the blah, the IVs and EVs. And I don't got time for all that shit. Pokemon for me is not an EV IV game. It does have a little bit of aesthetic to it. I do have to like what I have aesthetically, not just this is a badass Pokemon that does badass damage. But if it looks awful, then it's probably not going to get my attention. And if it's a little too cute, which this is going to come up later on, that somebody's going to call me out for that because I have a Pokemon that's super ridiculous cute, and I pick it. And I pick it almost on the basis that it's super cute. So I'm sure this will come up again, but for some reason there is a Pokemon that's super cute that catches my attention that I pick. This is not one of them. Sorry. So that was it. That was the Gen 2 starters and where they fall in terms of my ranking from the one I will most often pick to the one I will least likely pick. So, just like I said, there's more of these to do. I'm going to literally do every single generation, so later on, I will be back to talk about Generation 3 and their starters. Later on, guys. I have spoken. Take what you will from it.